Take two.
That beer tastes so good during the videos now.
It's nice to be back drinking. I think.
Not as heavily.
No, definitely not as heavily. Not yet. Work back into it.
Should we address the horse in the room? Or lack thereof, donkey in the room?
We're not at the ranch.
We are not at the ranch.
Not only did we take a week off because we're bad podcasters.
You're at the Flames
Is that
game.
the word? I was at the Flames game. Which
Live action coverage.
Which sucked, actually. So it would have been better off just recording a video. But we're not in our normal spot. So terrible podcast only gets worse. But here we are.
Oh, maybe in the future we'll just choose a different spot every single time. Choose a brewery or something.
It can't get any worse.
Can't get any worse.
Can't get any worse.
Although people did like the XFL one.
People loved the XFL one. Must have just been clickbait.
I bet you if we put XFL in the title of this one too, people would click on it.
I guess we'll find out. And
Seattle Dragons lost.
Yeah. You know what? All in all, it was pretty good. It reminded me a lot of CFL, honestly.
That's what I was thinking.
When I was watching it, I was like, the talent level and stuff, it could just because it's the first couple of weeks and it's got to grow, but it felt to me like CFL.
Yeah, 100%.
I like all the new rules. I like no field goals, like the 1, 2, and 3 point conversions. I don't think I've seen anyone go for 3.
I saw a lot of 2s.
A lot of 2s. Two makes sense. Give you more room. I don't like the 1 yard line. I feel like you get too close, everything kind of gets congested.
I think that's maybe by design. They figured no one would go after the 1 point. You'd put the incentive out there for some more. And
yeah. No, I thought it was good. I really thought it was good.
yeah, teams look good. Some of the arenas, I know Seattle played in Central. Well, they will play in CenturyLink Field when they're at home. But some of the arenas were pretty small, and you could tell we're...
It said for that first game there was 17,000 people there. So I mean that's really not bad. The stadium looks small because we're used to a 90,000 person football arena,
100%.
right? But 17,000 is pretty good. They should be happy with
an
that.
average Flames game too. That's
Yeah. Well, it was more exciting than a Flames game. I'll tell you that.
I was thinking St. Louis finally gets their team back. They lost the Rams there in the NFL, so they don't really have a professional team in their football. You bring that back, you fill a niche void there. And
It's not bad. No, I hope it works out. I hope it works out.
Yeah.
We're a little bit behind, like we said, but Kansas City wins the Super Bowl. Congratulations.
Creates a play brand new for Madden.
So, trailed in the divisional round by 24 points and won.
Came back and won.
Trailed in the conference game
Came back and won.
and trailed by 11. In the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left of the Super Bowl. And they won by 11, right? Just that offense, once they start rolling, it's just points. It's just downhill.
This team is, you can't ever count them out because they're never going to be done.
Honestly, if it stays the same right now, I can see them being that next dynasty team.
Andy Reid said they are going back there next year. And you look at the team, none of their contracts are really expiring this year.
Tyreek Hill is just like an unbelievable weapon. Like, he's unbelievable. Travis Kelce,
A machine. He's the next Gronk.
top 2 tight end in the league. I guess you got to probably throw Kittle in there, but he's more blocking tight end.
Did you see that, though? They sat Gronk, Kittle, and Kelce down, and they said, and Gronk was telling me, it's like the first time in the NFL where the top 2 ranked tight ends are actually in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but and then their running back, Williams, he should have been the Super Bowl MVP. He jumped off the screen to me. Mahomes threw 2 interceptions.
So they were talking about that, and they said they think the Super Bowl MVP is kind of the season-long cumulative body of work. Which is the season MVP.
That would be super cool, except when Seattle won. Why would I even bring it up? Because I can't remember everyone's name. Our linebacker won. Malcolm Smith.
Really?
Yeah. Malcolm Smith, or maybe his last name was Malcolm. Doesn't matter. He got an interception, pick six touchdown, and he picked up a fumble.
For another touchdown, wasn't it?
No, but just a turnover. But he got MVP. He definitely wasn't the season MVP. I feel like no matter what, if Kansas City won, Mahomes was going to get it.
I think it's 100% his team coming back.
The running back, like, if you look at all the positive he did, I get it. But he did throw 2 picks. Williams, he caught out the backfield. He ran good. He had a touchdown or 2, I think.
He kept them in there for some offensive drives that the throwing game was not working.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I thought he would have got the MVP, but good on them. We're obviously late to the punch, but got to bring it up. Got to talk about it. Good job.
I didn't realize they had to do the Disney World tour the day after. Not even that, the morning after.
I'm going to Disney World.
Well, they're paid to say that. They say whoever wins the MVP has to say that.
Well, he said
they
he's
tell
waiting.
everyone, and everyone has to sign a contract. Every single player on each team, because they never know.
How much money do they get to say that?
Not much. But they go and spend a full day at Disney World the next day. What's the first thing you're doing after you win the Super Bowl with your team?
Dude.
Exactly. The next morning, you're going to be at
Did you
Disney
see
World entertaining kids?
Mahomes just palming beers on the parade and just cracking the cans and dumping them on his face. It seems like, I don't know if it's always been this way. I would say and I hate to give anyone from Toronto credit, but the Blue Jays, this is the first time I ever noticed
Raptors?
No. Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays. Did I say that or did I just say Toronto?
You said Toronto, but where are you going with this?
The Blue Jays were the first team that I noticed that out in the open got hammered on camera after their win and were dumping beers on their face. And since then, like a couple of years ago, now it's the thing. If you win anything, you're in the locker room, you have goggles on your face, you're spraying beer, you're spraying champagne, they're drinking and pouring beers on their face on the parade. I don't know if it was always like that. Maybe I'm late to the gang, but it seemed like...
I think it depends on the team, because you look last year, Tom Brady looks more like he's in a presidential limo driving down the parade rather than...
Tom Brady's 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
Right? But it just seems to be... It's like the college guy with a cigar after the game, right?
Couldn't drink, though.
No, he couldn't. Well,
drink.
I'm sure he drank. But it just seems like it's acceptable now for these players, after a big win, get wasted. Good on them.
Well, I mean, you put in a year's worth of work, right? Like,
yeah, but obviously Bud Light must sponsor it, because I've
Stanley.
never seen them drink anything else.
Oh, why would you not get in there as a sponsor? For sure.
Gotta stay hydrated, so drink Bud Light.
Well, speaking of Brady, there's a rumor going around that the Raiders are looking to snag him up in free agency. Another target for free agency is Shitbag Rivers.
Shitbag Rivers is leaving the Chargers.
Officially, they have said they are not going to pursue him. So,
So, Rivers, I don't know, like, he's going to go somewhere as a backup.
There's a couple teams that are hurting for a QB. I mean, especially if you bring in one of the new rookies off a draft, whether it be Joe Burrow or whether it be Tua or someone later on in the draft, you're still going to need someone with some experience to maybe guide him through, give him some pointers, and maybe take some of the weight maybe.
Maybe he goes to New York.
Why would you not bring in a quarterback with some of these young kids and split the weight? I know it's only one game every 2 weeks, so each takes 8 games, but you split the weight, you let the rookie kind of feel out his first 8 games in the season, not 8 in a row, but like, you don't throw him to the wolves right away.
You're saying like a 1A, 1B
quarterback
develop.
thing. Maybe even half games instead of taking him out cold for an entire game. Do half games and let him develop into
You're proposing something completely new. What about Phillip Rivers going to the XFL if he doesn't get picked up?
Yeah, I could see that.
If he doesn't get picked up this year by a team, or he gets picked up as a backup, I don't know if that's how he wants to end his career. Does he leave?
What if Brady's going to the XFL? I'm not saying yes, but they're looking for some big names to make this league pull, and all those owners have a lot of money to make shit happen.
I read something, and it's probably 100%. I'll say it's bullshit before I even say it, but I will say it.
I like bullshit.
Apparently, Colin Kaepernick wanted too much money, and that's why he couldn't be signed to the XFL.
Yep, I can believe that.
His contract was going to be too much for a brand new league to support. So
I could also see him asking for the world as well. He seems like he probably would.
Yeah.
If he was really hurting for money, you'd be seeing him playing somewhere. Johnny Manziel offered to play, and the XFL basically told him no.
I don't think they don't need any bad publicity.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like with Colin Kaepernick, you're getting all of that.
yeah.
Johnny Manziel, you don't know what he's going to do.
But why would you not want to bring in a fun guy to a new league that's at least going to draw attention to it?
Because next week he gets pulled over with a DUI, and that's a brand new scar on a brand new league who's fighting against one of the biggest sports in the world.
Exactly. It's
right?
tough.
Like these guys, there's a reason you're not playing in the NFL, and that same reason is going to follow you around.
Brown's not playing in the XFL. He seems more interested in fighting a YouTube star. So that's interesting.
And rapping. Everything I see him post is a rap video.
Well, he's got his first rap video out, so now he's an actual artist, and he's also in talks. This Logan Paul guy or whatever his name is, some YouTube personality or whatnot.
YouTube boxing seems to be the thing now, but
He'd get destroyed. Have you seen how ripped Brown is?
maybe. Imagine if he doesn't. Then you're gone. If you lose a boxing match to Logan Paul, it's over.
It's over.
There's no coming back from that.
You would be
You're
shitbag of the year.
And you're gonna steal shitbag of the year from Rivers? That's
that's
that's tough. So I don't know. Well, what
It's probably all about the money.
It's big money. What was we're way off topic. Brady, Oakland. Do they put Derek Carr as a backup then for a year?
Derek Carr has been consistent, but not consistently great. Like
No,
he's been a consistent name.
He has big games, and
I think his
Yeah.
big games, like you look last year, his big receiver was a tight end, and their main offensive weapon was a running back.
I think they're definitely going for the slow build. I think we'll keep seeing improvement from them, but
I think now you're going to see a bit more of a desire of players to want to play in that city. So you might see just a attraction of talent.
You don't think they're like the baseball field they were playing on?
No, I don't think they like the stadium. I don't think they like the city. I think players just didn't want to go there unless they were born and raised there, like Lynch, who was just like, I gotta play there before they leave.
Could be.
And I think now being in Vegas, big shiny new stadium, you're going to attract everyone.
Well, if they get Brady, I think they go. If they sign Brady, I think they go all out in free agency and give it a year or 2 years of all out blitz and try and
do
something.
weapons for him. He's got no one to throw to right now other than Waller.
Oh, we've seen how that went.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Well, speaking of big high-priced fights, big news this week. Pacquiao has signed with McGregor's management company. Looking for that Money Mayweather payday?
Yeah. I'll watch it. Problem is,
Would you pay the $90 to watch it?
yeah, I'll pay the $90 to watch it. Here's the issue. He fought Floyd. Floyd was never going to knock him out. He got a TKO or whatever, but I mean, Conor never got knocked down or anything. Pacquiao's a different animal.
See, Mayweather played all defense because that's Mayweather's game.
Yeah, until Conor got tired, and then he was just like, just tagging him. But Pacquiao's gonna light you up. He's older, but
he's just because you're older doesn't mean you lose all these years of training. It's in your blood at that point. Someone comes at you, and you can come out with a 3-attack combo and just.
I can see them throwing it together and timing it up so that it's just after the Khabib Tony fight, because Conor still doesn't think those guys are going to show up to that fight. He thinks something's going to draw out, so I can see him timing that camp. So if someone did draw out, he's already training. I'm sure he's already doing it anyways. You'd think he trains. If that fight goes on, he has a fight a little bit after that, and then boom, back in the UFC this year, fall, to hop in there against the winner of that fight.
Khabib said he doesn't want to fight him unless he actually fights and wins someone in that division, though. He said just because you came back, you were a champion, and you fought an old guy does not give you a right to come after my championship. Fight someone like Gaethje or...
Khabib also said he needs to win 10 straight fights before he gets a title shot, like he did to get a title shot. But also, that's not how it's going to go. You're going to get a call from Dana, say, come in, here's a shitload of money. Guess what? You get a rematch with Conor, and Khabib's going to go, it is a shitload of money. I'll sign right here. Who else is there for him to fight?
Go up a weight class.
He could go up. Khabib's scary, man. But Tony Ferguson, like you talk about it, Tony could win. Then you have a Tony Conor fight, which is amazing as well. But yeah, Pacquiao signs. Again, I'll watch it. What more can you say? We'll watch it.
I mean, why would you not?
He's going to make a stupid amount of money, so will Pacquiao. Everything he does, he makes a stupid amount of money.
That last fight, the amount of money that those guys made, they were hugging in the post-fight press conference, drinking whiskey and all that other shit, because they just made all the money. They didn't care. No one actually got that knocked out.
Well, he got his face beat to shit, but I mean...
Not even that bad.
Dude, he had a broken nose and a broken eye socket.
You're a fighter. That's pretty not bad. That's
all things considered.
Look at Donald Cerrone. He's been put on a mandated off list because of his fracture.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No, it'll be... I'll watch it. That's all I have to say. I'll watch it.
Couple more quick NFL pieces of news. Greg Olsen is parting ways with the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if that's retirement or...
He's already met with a couple teams. I think he met with the Seahawks this week. I think...
That'd be a good one.
In the next... I don't want to say couple days, but I think within a week or so, we should... I think he'll come out and he'll be signed for the team.
Cool. It's not free agency yet, though.
Can he sign, though, if they part ways?
I think, what is it, March 4th is free agency for the NFL?
That's a couple weeks.
Yeah, so...
he'll make a decision. We'll know where he's going.
There'll be some I bet you there'll be like 2 or 3 teams that are top of his list. He'll think about it.
I think, yeah. So, we'll know. A couple weeks, we'll know.
Myles Garrett with the indefinite suspension. The indefinite suspension has been lifted. As we kind of thought would happen the rest of the year, let him play next year. Why wouldn't you just tell this guy when you asked him the hearing?
Refresh my memory. What was it that he did? Was it a dirty hit or was it smoking pot?
Swinging the helmet on Mason Rudolph's head.
Oh. Yeah, of course he's going to come back. You get the season, don't swing your helmet at someone.
Well, we even said he did that not a press conference, he did a appeal with the league to be like, hey, can you at least tell me when my suspension's done? Because they just said indefinite, no timeline.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we're not going to tell you.
Well, basically, that meant they could have just not let him back. Like, that's what they were saying.
That's what he wanted to know. He's like, I want to be able to...
What am I doing? What can I do here?
Should I be training? Should I go to the XFL?
Yeah. No, it makes sense to let him back, so that's all good.
And I think that's it for NFL. We've touched on NFL. We've touched on XFL. How about a little CFL action? Got to catch up on a couple of big signings the past few weeks here. Trevor Harris has extended himself by 2 years. Ex-Stampeders Roberson has joined the Bears in the NFL. He's been signed there. Nichols was released, and then Matt Nichols was signed with the Argos.
Yep.
So released and signed. Zach Caleros re-signed, the big timer himself. Arbuckle has signed with the Red Blacks. And so with that re-sign, the Stampeders get first overall pick there. And that's kind of what I got for the CFL.
Yeah, I think we lost our running back. I think we picked up a couple linebackers. We signed an offensive lineman. So I think the Stampeders lost a couple important pieces, NFL and free agency. But
offensive weapons, I think, downfield went south of the border.
To be fair, and it's sad, it's probably time for us to have a couple bad years.
We haven't won that much. And unfortunately, with 8 teams or 9 teams in the CFL, soon to be 10.
But we've been the most dominant. Obviously, we haven't won that many Grey Cups because we like to choke it away at the end, right? But regular season,
yeah,
we've been pretty dominant. I don't know if you have it on the list here, but I thought it was interesting. I can't talk. Toronto Raptors won their 15th straight game. And that sets a record for a Canadian team that was previously held at, it was either 13 or 14 by the Calgary Stampeders.
That's almost the whole season.
We were really good.
Wait, that was the whole season until we put in all the backups.
Yeah, so, dominant, but good for the Raptors as well. Now that we're going to talk about basketball, but...
Yeah, I have NBA trades on here. There was a lot of trades that went down. We don't know enough about the players to break them down to winners or losers. One last thing I forgot about here for the CFL. Interesting side note. Bo Levi's rings have been stolen. His 2018 Grey Cup ring and Outstanding Player ring for 2018.
Yeah, he had them in his truck. His truck got broken into. I heard about that on the Fan 960. They said, listen, don't be a dummy. Bring them to the station, drop them off. We won't say anything. We'll give his rings back. You go away. That's what needs to happen. But, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
so,
I have no updates since then.
Way to go, right? You can't do anything with that.
What are you going to do? Put it in your house and show no one? Because you can't show anyone. And you can't go and pawn it somewhere. And you can't sell it.
Any reasonable, respectful sports fan would understand that that's a bit of a low blow to steal his rings.
Also, the worst thing that this guy could do is take them, melt them down, and try and sell it for metal that way.
Sell them to someone south of the border who doesn't give a flying.
Which, if you're going through that much effort...
Wow, don't have them in your truck. But
first off, that's...
But don't take them. It's so stupid. But whatever, that's how things go, right?
All right, we got a long list of NHL injuries this past week. It looks like ever since the All-Star game came back, people just decided it's time to get hurt. So...
Should we start with the serious one? Jay Bouwmeester last night.
100%.
Cardiac episode on the bench. I watched the video. Scary as hell. They just postponed the game.
Yeah.
To be caught up. So he was stable. He was moving. I haven't seen an update past that. That came out this morning. So
he is conscious. I know Brody's was thought to be cardiac. It was not. This one was, and again, you look at the video of him on the bench, and he's kind of sitting there and then goes down, and you're just like, okay, he could be passing out, could be something like that, but apparently the players came in, they literally lifted the bench out and took it out of the way, stretchers came in, everyone vacated the bench, both teams were there, Ryan Getzlaff was going around to the captains on both the other team, kind of giving them the talk about kind of should we see if we can postpone, and then that's where the conversation with the refs went on. And so as much as Getzlaff is hated in the city at this point because he plays for Anaheim and he plays like a dick for Anaheim. Good on him to be a captain about it and take things seriously. So
yeah, well, it was serious. So
that's the same type of conversation we had about the All-Star game. Is when it really comes down to it, these guys are a family, all 32 teams, and
yeah. So yeah, wish him the best. Hopefully,
flame.
Yeah, hopefully it turns out all good.
One of the longest spells without ever being in a playoff game. One of the NHL's Ironman players. Like, such a nice guy too.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah. All right, Thomas Hertl, dead.
Straight after the All-Star game.
Oh,
ACL and MCL, goodbye.
Such a performance in the All-Star game. Looked like a beast.
I did not know he was that good.
Comes out and could potentially spark his team to a late season push. No. They missed him in the game against the Flames. That could have been a different game with home.
Well, the second one, because the one that I went and seen.
We don't talk about that one.
Okay. Because it was awful.
Yeah. Shea Weber. Same outcome. He is out.
Gone.
For the season. Giordano, Calgary Flames.
Seemed real bad.
It looked really bad on the ice there.
They're saying week to week. So we need him back. Because on top of Gio,
Hamonic
is out. He's on IR. So don't have a time on that yet.
Yeah, and because those guys are out, we have recalled Davidson and Yeltsin from Stockton.
I noticed Davidson one play, and it was because he was behind the other team's net in the offensive zone. And I went, no. You get back where you belong. A for effort, but get back where you belong. But, yeah, we need those guys back if we're going to make a push here.
Next on the list, Seth Jones injury. Potentially the rest of the year.
Gone.
Nazem Kadri.
Gone.
Connor McDavid.
Gone.
Not caused by Giordano.
No. Quad injury, 2 to 3 weeks. So not fully gone, but hopefully that's enough to collapse their season.
It is. When you have to depend on two players, Draisaitl and McDavid, you take half that out.
Draisaitl got 4 points or something last night.
As I said, we got to depend on two. They still lost.
No, they won last night.
Did they?
Well, they beat Chicago.
That lost last night,
yeah, they beat Chicago. Let's. I don't know. It's pretty bad.
Let's. And those are just the big names we covered. There's a lot of other small ones going around. It's end of the season time, past the halfway point. Everyone gets hurt. Wishing everyone a speedy recovery. You want healthy teams going to the playoffs because you always want to see good hockey, no matter who's playing.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Oilers, Nurse has signed a new contract. 2-year contract that walks him straight into free agency. No restrictions at all. They're thinking this was all about
5.5
money because they couldn't offer him a lot right now. Pay him a little bit now and re-up in 2 years.
I still don't think they can pay him. But it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a decent deal, so good for him.
Speaking of signing extensions, we've got Paul Maurice has signed an extension as to be the coach there. It's
Nice.
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Good for him. I don't know why, but good for him. The big trade in the NHL is the Galchenyuk for Zucker trade. Galchenyuk was on the trading block. Zucker almost came to Calgary last year. Both these guys are kind of known trades.
Galchenyuk was a top 10 pick, and now he's basically just being thrown in as bonuses on these trades. So
yeah,
that's a fall.
It's definitely a fall when you can't make it work in several cities, especially Pittsburgh.
Look, you never know in the draft, right? Top 10 pick, and now
Bennett, top 4. Look at him now.
I'd rather not.
Okay. There was a meeting between the NHL, the NHLPA, the Olympic, and the Olympic Athletes Committee this week, in which the Olympic committees both walked in and said, okay, we want NHL players in the Olympics. What do we have to do to make it happen? Let's get talking about it. The players want to be there, but they want some assurances. And the NHL are fine with it, but they want to renew the CBA so that they don't have to go through the negotiations again.
They need insurance.
Yeah.
And they need to be able to advertise.
And accommodation.
They are going to be in the Olympics because the NHL is super dick hard about the Chinese market.
Yes, also, you're taking how many good players, not saying that the teams don't have good players, but you're taking the top of the world out of the top of the world contest.
Basically, the way I heard about it is the Olympics have now, the Olympic Committee, whatever it is, IOC, have taken a stand now where if the players aren't there, it seems like it's more the NHL's fault. Where before the NHL came with a full list of things, and it was correct. Now it seems like they're ready to work with the NHL.
Yeah.
So let's make it happen because it's best on
Everyone
best.
wants
There's
to
nothing
see
better
it.
than the Olympics. So let's just get it done.
I'm not saying the hockey wasn't great last time because it's always fun to watch, but when you got NHLer against NHL and your fourth line depth on Team Canada,
I get it. But it was Germany versus Russia, and a Russian team without all of the Russian players. And I mean, no offense to Germany, but why are you playing for a gold medal?
Yeah, this isn't the World Juniors. Calm down. Big news from Arizona. You had this news story here. I'm
not even going to look it up.
There's some very interesting stuff happening here.
They're cheaters. They are investigating 20 cases of them performing fitness tests on draft eligible players, which comes with a $250,000 fine or more for each individual case.
So let's back this up here. Why is that not allowed? Is it kind of an unfair advantage because they give 1 week of all the players testing before the draft?
I would think.
And you're getting an early look?
I'm not 100% why it isn't allowed, but I think that's probably it. You get the combine,
yeah,
and you get your scouts to go out and watch their games. That's what you're allowed. To take them in and give them fitness tests, and I think you're just kind of, you're cheating the system a little bit. You're getting that little bit extra. Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
So, well, I mean, obviously it's a serious offense because we're talking like $5 million here on the low end.
Whew.
And probably suspensions, firings.
The Astros is coming to mind. I don't know why.
Oh, no. But they're cheaters too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows?
12 days to the trade deadline. Do you think they make a move? Hall's rumored to be going to move out of Arizona now.
Yeah, since their goalies
plural
have all just vanished, they've fallen from grace. Probably they looked like a playoff team. Probably not going to be a playoff team. And yeah, he's a target.
He is. There is a lot of upcoming unrestricted and restricted free agents. There's a lot of teams with no salary cap room, and there's a lot of teams with a lot of pieces to sell, and a lot of teams that don't really have room to take those pieces. So I think it's going to be maybe a slower trade deadline, but the off-season, same with the NFL, is just going to be a wild shitstorm of people going all over the place. This is one of those fun shake-up years.
Either way, hopefully Calgary makes a move at the deadline here.
We need something.
Hard.
We need a defenseman. We need a forward.
Go
we need
for it.
up.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Make a push for the playoffs. Get a rental player and make some noise in the playoffs.
Just because you're in the wild card doesn't mean you're going to not beat the top team.
Yeah.
Colorado picks up Kadri. Couple fun news for other sports and Canadianness this year, or week, 2 weeks. Christine Sinclair
set a new record for goals in female soccer, so good for her.
Now, was that female soccer or was that all of Canadian soccer?
I think it's not Canadian. I think it's female soccer overall. And
that didn't beat any of the European
It
people?
says all-time leading scorer in women's soccer. So any woman.
Awesome.
Any league.
Well,
in soccer,
congratulations.
so.
She's a beast out there. I know she's getting older, but she looks like the ageless wonder on that pitch. So.
Ooh, pitch. I like that.
Getting the terminology right up in here.
I like that.
Speaking of pitching wedges and all that fun stuff, Taylor with the big win at the Pebble Beach. Canada.
That's all that matters.
Paired up with Phil Mickelson for the first time ever. Never played with him before. Never been close to his grouping before.
Is this the first since Mike Weir?
No, there's been a couple other ones as far as I remember when they showed the graphic there. But yeah, Taylor pulling out the big guns and finishing strong, not even wavering.
Now, is he an up-and-comer? Like, is this a sign of things to come, or did he have a good week?
This is, because of his win, he's actually going to go to the Masters for the first time. So he's been playing for a while. I think he won several years ago. But
so that's all I have to do to make
recent.
the Masters? It's just win this one tournament?
No, points. It's all on points. So because his win here gave him up in the points, and because of Phil Mickelson's points, he's not in the top 50 of ranked golfers right now because of his points this year.
That makes sense.
With his chipping ability, I don't know if it
But
makes
he
sense.
beat Tiger in the one-on-one, right?
Yeah, Tiger could beat the Sam Snead's record this weekend.
He's tied.
You gonna watch that?
Nope, because I'm going to be drunk on a beach.
And we come to the giant question in the room. Do the pants fit?
I think I've made it. I think I've made it.
You only need to wear them for like an hour.
Yeah, I think I'll be good. I did a horrible juice cleanse. I've been working my ass off, and I stopped drinking for the month, and I...
With the exception of the bachelor party.
Well, yeah. And I haven't drank much since the bachelor party, mostly because I've been hungover for 2 straight weeks.
You're still wearing the same shirt, I see.
Yeah, it's part of me now. I think we're going to be okay.
Awesome.
It was sketchy go, but...
It was a sketchy go. From button popping to fit now.
Well, if back to the same analogy, the train has stopped, the webs have come loose, everything is nice, everything is good.
Oh, man. Well, again, we'll be off next week because someone will be getting married. So this is going to be a once every couple week type of podcast for the time being.
Well, I think we're probably going to go on a decent stretch of being bad podcasters here.
Yeah, we'll have one. We could probably put one out the week after there.
When are you gone?
End of April.
Okay. I need to learn how to edit these videos. You're gone for 3 weeks?
I will miss. We could probably put one out early. I will miss 2 videos.
I could do a solo.
Right in the middle of NHL playoffs, yeah.
I could do a solo. I'll be on here for 2 minutes. Be super awkward. I won't have anything written down. I won't remember what to talk about. I won't know anyone's name. I won't know any of the statistics.
I will Skype in. You can do a split screen.
Like we keep saying, it can't get any worse.
Can't get any worse. Do you have a name for this new location?
No. I mean...
The Globe?
The Globe.
With the beautiful blue ornaments.
Is that what we call them?
That's not what we call them, but it's the PC way of saying it.
Hey! Yeah, I don't know if we'll be back to the Globe, but it's not...
If you like the Globe, let us know.
Not a bad field trip.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. And watch the whole video. If you made it this far, you've already watched the whole video. But
See, the problem is we're going to put the title as XFL. Those people are going to listen until 30 seconds in when we said the only reason they're here is because we put XFL. Then they're going to leave, and our view average is still going to be, 35, 40 seconds?
Still over 2-3 minutes?
That's not bad. I'd get sick of listening to us after 2 or 3 minutes, too. So.
I know I have.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we'll call it a day.
Perfect.